Hello and welcome to what I do believe is update number 8 of the Lego City of this year. So I cheated, I started early in December and now we are where we are in January. Now, yes, more mess. I have just finished doing the unboxing video and all that sort of stuff for this pretty cool new modular, and we've just been trying to figure out what works best and what goes beside it. So if you want to check that video out, I'll link it to the end of this one. If you don't, then you don't. It doesn't really matter. So first thing first, obviously I need to tidy this up because it is an absolute bomb site when I try and do a video in here. We just do not have the space. So I've got to pull the table out, pull the table back in. But going by the title, yes, I am going to be moving the Ghostbusters Firehouse. Now, that will all be revealed for the reasons why and the ideas behind that on the next update video. So that'll be number 9 or number 10, depending on what this one is. But that will follow this video and I'll start filming that later on in the week. But we have to get that moved. Now, I've not been happy with the corner garage either, because in the last update that was actually just thrown on one of the tables. It's now on this table next to the police station, because I've used that as a comparison to what it looks like with the jazz club. Now I'm thinking maybe putting that garage right beside the diner, seeing what that looks like, and then we can make a little display in today's video out the front of that if it fits. And then I've got to think where I'm going to put that in regards to the placement on the table. Now, the really annoying thing, as always, the only table that's got the rest of the mess on is exactly where I want to set that up, but that will kick off a brand new display. So it's not clickbait. There is a lot of things to come, but there's a lot to get through in this video, so I'm going to have to just keep doing it as obviously uploads. Otherwise, I'd never get a video uploaded and it will just be hours and hours long. But I've got to get all of this moved. More than likely, I will just throw it into one of the boxes. I have started to stockpile and stack all the different base plates. It's just a couple of vehicles and things that got pulled out of the city when we first did it, so we've got to figure out, for example, where we're going to put the tractor. Are we going to use the power things that might look quite nice, trying to fix some bits and pieces? Need your advice of where that is going to go. Now, that might link into what we're doing. I doubt that very highly. Might try and get that back up in the sort of more chilled out play area, but we'll get at it now. You're going to come along for the ride. I am definitely going to smash something. There's far too many things to move, and that Ghostbuster Firehouse is quite hard to get. I'm not too sure, like I said, whether to put it smack in the middle of the table, have it side on, because the stuff that's going to go around it hasn't even been bought yet. So that'll be a brand new display and discussed and spoken about in the next video, which will then link into another video, which then if I do buy it will then link into another video. See, it's all up there upstairs for thinking. So that could be a month's worth of stuff that I've just thought about last night, thanks to, as always, J Toy Collection UK. So make sure you check out his channel. He's very good at making you spend money or giving you ideas and laughing at you. So we'll get at it. First thing first, we'll get all of these moved. That is just going to stay on this table, because I will, again, in a different upload, figure out exactly where that's going to be going, because I'm not 100% sure yet. The plan, I'm thinking maybe, is to add it in onto that superhero table, but that will just come in good time because there's lots to happen. So I'll get moving this now. We'll see what's what, and you'll see exactly the struggle of what I've got to do and what I've got to smash. But we will start with the police station, so we'll get you just down there, and then we'll get you round and we'll get you moved, because it's just, I always find it quite interesting to see other people and how they set up their cities and things, just because it always looks really, really perfect. Whereas this has never been that way, nor has it looked anything like it. But if you are new to the channel, then obviously welcome. If you are a regular to this absolute carnage and chaos for the seat updates, you will already know what is beside this one. But over in this side, we will be putting a superhero section in. So we are going to be doing a whole theme park in this room. So we're starting with this section over here, and then it wraps around with the Jurassic Park stuff. Then we've got our main city street. The Ninjago City above is just a completely different display, but it works. Everything will have to be pulled out with regards to the wallpaper and everything like that anyway. And then we are just getting the basic template together of what we're going to put on that table today. And then, like I said in the previous upload to this one, what colours are we going to do the wallpaper, what we're going to paint? Still not decided. I'm taking your ideas on board, but I'm still not 100% sure which way to do it. I don't know whether to try and get some like backdrop prints. I think that'll be easier than the paint, because I don't think the paint's going to take. This was all stuck on with a huge amount of double-sided sticky tape. Again, it just gets so cold in here, it peels it all off. So it's it's just a little bit of a nightmare, and it's things like that, for example, where those towels are, that would look really nice with certain backdrops down, and it's just a bit more eye pleasing. And then we might have to think of what we're going to do with like a side drop here. Now this is something that we've not spoken about. Attempt to try and get something off the roof and coming down so it blocks everything off here, so you can't see any of this. And it would look really nice for photos and everything like that, and when we're doing the live, so obviously it needs to kind of look visually pleasing to get people attracted to actually watching this stuff. Right, waffling as always. I need to get this one moved back over, but you can see another problem that I've got is all the brick dust. Now look at that, all of that on the back of that all needs to be cleaned off at some point, but I will do that when everything gets pulled down, because it was in that corner. It's just amazing when the wind hits the roof. Not kind of thing that happens over in the States, because you're usually down in your basements, but this has not been converted. This is just what this attic looks like. So that needs to move. That is the garage. So what I can do is I will get this one in the corner into that corner. I can then move the fishing shop back. Then I guess what I'll try and do is just pull that one out straight away, put that onto this table, and then see if that looks right to start with. And then if it does look right, I will then do a very, very quick video of tidying all of that up. But if I place you roughly there, and then you can see exactly what's going to be coming. Hopefully the angles and everything are okay. Now, talking of Jay's Toy Collection UK, I've mentioned him a lot in a lot of the videos. We are thinking of doing an actual collab as well. Now, he has got thousands and thousands of 6-inch action figures, all different ranges, really high-end stuff. And some of the Lego sets this year are going to be matching the stuff that he already has. So would you like to see a comparison of that? Are you a collector of that kind of thing and you get the Lego for the little ones? Are you in a family where you just collect all that kind of stuff? So it would be quite interesting to do some, test the water, see what it's like, and then that really might link into this new section that is being planned as well. But you can see just how tight this was to get out, which it wasn't filmed in the last video. There is no space there, and it is touching the wall on the other side, and you can see again there's no gap on that bit. But this is the kind of stuff that always has to be done. But that slots straight in, and then we will pull this one back. Again, it's all in rough. Now, this was one of the new minifigures I got for Christmas. If you missed that upload, that will actually be the upload before this one. There are some very cool minifigures that we'll go back over. I've got a really nice Deadpool figure, so we've got to get those in and around again. Lots and lots of things to do, so I'm more than likely going to be doing quite a few uploads from here in what I'll call the off season of the Legoland uploads, and then we'll start mixing and matching and merging. Now, get this one. Actually, there we go. It was nowhere near the back. I thought it was. Then that row plate will go over there. Pull that one up. That one goes down, so that's actually flush. That then needs to be custom and manipulated. That's why it overlaps. And that is roughly where it is. So that is that corner. So we've got to figure out, are we going to do anything with that? Can that be used maybe for this new display? I doubt it highly. Yes, I have got a bit of an Easter egg because I've got so many of those figures, so we will be playing games as we go around. But that is our horror section. Now, I did say in one of the other videos it makes sense having the Ghostbusters Firehouse there with the car going through to sort out the horror section, because obviously it's a theme park and whatever else, and it's just there for effect. All of this is a theme park based, but this is a laser shooter in Dubai. So it is a standalone ride, but it is also a certain type of theming. So it will all make sense. I know it looks nice. I know some of you really like it against that on the side. That I will try and keep there, and we will just see what the corner garage looks like. Now, next thing to move. I don't particularly want to start moving all of the Star Wars stuff because I am too lazy. Now, I could just be clever, turn the camera off, use both hands and just do it really, really quickly. But I'm not. So I won't, because I know you want to see what it looks like smashed. But this set comes with loads and loads of really nice minifigures. They're all on the inside. We've got them with the car. They also come with 4 figs as well. But you can see just how cool they are. Now, I did say in a couple of previous videos, if you would like a more in-depth look at the sets that I'm moving around now and pairing them up with different sets, just so you can get a better idea of what would go where in your display, then obviously please do let me know in the comments below, because it's just stuff that I can do sort of on my time off. Because when I go to places like Billund and Legoland and things like that, obviously I can get quite a few sets, sorry, get quite a few videos made up. But then at the same time, it's always nice to come up here, because that is something I hardly did last year because I was so busy sat down just editing other bits and pieces together. Now, being a bit of a melon, I have put the boat in the way of the Ghostbusters Firehouse, which means I might have to move the boat first, but I'm too lazy and I don't want to. So, is this going to be a hard lesson learned? And am I going to drop and smash this? Or can I bend that back to then get a bit more of a grip underneath? What is going to fall off? Because I'm not 100% sure that top bit's attached, and I know that isn't attached either. But we live risky, we'll give it a go. If I can now get that up and over the boat. Come on, talk to me. Right, we're away. We are away. Slide them up. Oh my days, that is not attached. What am I doing? What am I doing? So, as you can clearly see, that is up. You're going on a ride. I've got you pinned to the top of the firehouse, and then that is the most extreme close-up you're ever going to get as that set. And then we are now on a super wobbly table. So this is only temporary where it is going to go. They are the minifigures for, I'm going to drop them, for the new modular. Now what I do tend to do is I actually keep all the modular figures in the modulars. I don't tend to mix and match the modular minifigures up, just so I kind of know where they're at. But then I do add in a load of like custom figures or CMFs. But that will start on that L shape there for the Marvel, or keep saying Marvel, it's a superheroes, it's a merger of Marvel, DC, and just everything else that's absolute carnage and crazy. By the end of the year, the Blue Loop roller coaster will be at the back, and that will be finished to a degree with regards to all the minifigures and everything that's in there. But like I said, there's so much to do, and obviously, as you all know, it takes ages, and you've got to build the stuff, and I drop it all the time. Simple as that, and I've got cats. But will that work? So I will put you back down just there, because you're going to get a bird's eye view of what this corner garage looks like. This corner garage isn't too bad to move, so it's nothing too drastic or too exciting. But I'm not too sure which way to slot them in, because it is a corner, I can't really put them in that way, so I think he might need to be spun with his back, which then will that leave a path to the park, which I don't think is going to work by the park. That's why I think the park is going to have to move, because you're going to have the garage facing the front of the park. Now if you've got any ideas and you're screaming at me as we go, then please let me know, because I am unsure. But one of the reasons why I'm doing this, it means I can actually then build up the new taxi, and I can put the taxi in the display, because I think that would look nice with the garage. Now that is that. That's how that works. Does that work as an end piece? Don't forget, it is not a working garage. That is actually going to be used as a museum piece, and we can just say it is a shop, because I do believe in Orlando they actually use the garage as their toilets. So it looks like you're walking into a garage, and it's garage themed, but it is a loo. Now, is that wide enough for? Yes. So I could have that facing forward, and we can have them on there, and obviously we can have the others and the diamond things on that. So there's potential. I will leave it there and let me know, because it's one of those that it kind of has to sit there for a little bit. It's an awkward one. I really like the set. I know a lot of people think I've had an accident brown, even though it's like an orangey colour for the actual colour. I think the colour put a lot of people off. I really like the set, and it's also got the vet surgery and everything, and that could be our mini hospital for, obviously, for animals. That kind of makes sense, because pets will be allowed in this theme park area. But it's because it's got a way in and a way out for it to be a garage. it means it's not as easy to place as the other corner units because you need road going around both ways. So even if I was to put another modular where that is, it's still going to be difficult, and you ideally need a modular going off the other side. So what I could potentially do is we can make a full L shape here of the modulars, because if this gets voted into that city strip, that potentially would go somewhere in here. That would move it over by 32 studs. That comes out and goes over to the superhero side. That'll go with the loop roller coaster, and then we'll have a bit of greenery around by the fan. So it'll be sort of big turbine, chilled out park area, big loop roller coaster, and then potentially some sort of entrance. And then means we might be able to keep, well, we will keep that as it is. The boat I'll try and keep up in that way. I have added the waterfall in. Again, it's all in rough, it can all be moved, it's not been tiled in, but I have put the back end of this one down because this is our eatery table for now, because we've got the tavern, obviously you've got the cantina, and then you've got the big bit that's just got coffee written on, and then I'll try and put maybe some tables and chairs, or just like a teeny tiny ride there, so maybe the rope, the banana swing or something like that. But that is when we start getting to the nitty gritty, that'd be where it's going to start getting a little bit difficult with regards to the kind of stuff that we do. It works well as an end bit if let's eyeball this. So we are over 32 studs wide, aren't we, with that park? So if that park was not there, I put another unit by here and pulled it out, we would have that small roadway right in front of that brickwork, and then that could potentially work that way, and then you could just have that as a walk down and walk in, and the truck could just be parked behind the petrol pumps. So that means we could easily add in another 32 by 32 modular in that gap, and it's absolutely no problem. Or we put the part behind the diner and then we squeeze the garage over. We could do things like that as well. But some of them might be coming over, so I'm waiting for you guys in the last video to make your minds up, and then that will come over to this way, because we have got the pull and the new one, which I think they look really nice side by side. I think we can do a lot more with the new jazz club and the pizzeria, besides sort of the pool table and the owls in the superhero section. So I'm favouring that to go over that way. But then at the same time, if that does happen, it might be a bit of awkward to get the new Doctor Strange set in over there. So maybe it has to go anyway. So that is in. So we will figure that out in a sec. I'll put a road in front of it and we'll have a look and see what that looks like. Right at the very, very end of the video, I will obviously cut it and then just tidy it all up. This I am going to quickly tidy before I bore you with all of that. And then we'll carry on with the video of me picking this up, figure out exactly where that's going to go. And then that's now just looking sorry for itself on the table over there. But it is what it is. We've gone 18 minutes and I've moved one thing. Brilliant. So I've done one thing. I've come up with a different idea for this modular. Potentially, when it gets placed, if we can't figure out what it goes beside, we could add an allotment / petting zoo to the one side, because it has got that bit at the top, if you didn't realise. So it's got like its own little greenhouse, but we have got all the fresh sets just to the bottom there. And I've got 2 of them. And then we also, on this table, have the tractor, so we can start all straight away just having like a little display to the side before it goes into the pizzeria and so on and so forth. But then that does mean that is never ever going to work in the superhero section, but it's just something to consider. Try and tick all the boxes and options. How have you displayed yours? What would you do if you had lots and lots of different options? But now I really do need to get on with this. Some time later, we are done. I've just thrown a load of stuff in the box, to be honest, I'm not going to lie. I've got that pile to go through. There's a load of minifigures, so I need to put them on like the base plates and start adding them to some bits and pieces. So what's still to come in this video, in case you're getting bored, this will go on this table and we'll figure out which is the best way to go. And I will kind of try to explain what this is going to be about without giving too much away. And then we will just get the road plates placed and some vehicles down for that section. I might pull out the park as well, just to see what that looks like for space, and maybe just fill it with another modular, so we know for future, because you could always put a custom one in there or something stupid like that. But we'll get this thing moved over now. I have no idea, actually, hopefully, as long as the table doesn't rock too much. I could just be able to, there we go, just slide and push. So can we get this to the back? Now this is the ride. This is the ride of the land, and everything else is going to be theming around it. Now the problem is we've got, it's obviously it's massive, and you can see the table is going to be, realistically, it's 3 base plates wide. So we will go into much greater detail with regards to what is going to go on here. But that is going to be basically the ride, because that is what that is. So we will create a queue line. Everything else around it will go. So over a period of time, we'll figure out if I want it in the middle, if I want it stuck out to the side. So we have it at the back. Now we have it that way and it comes forward. Potentially it might have to eat into another table. It's going to have a bit of a play with, I think, with regards to that kind of stuff, because we do lose a little bit of space at the back because of how much this sticks out as well. But we will figure it out. But at least that table is done and free, so we can see what that's like. But I will plonk it in the middle for now, but potentially it might be in the middle of the actual table, and then I could just move the merry-go-round over, and then we could potentially expand it and merge it into a couple of the different lands. But that is in no massive drama. Obviously the Sonic bit will need to come off the top. That might be something that we could do something with. But yeah, so that's that. We'll get the Ghostbusters car, the X01, over with it as well, so it's together, so it doesn't break. But I've got all sorts of these little minifigures that I need to go through. So they're all going to be bite-size updates, because like I said, I could just spend hours and hours and hours boring you of moving the same bit. So we have done quite a lot in the last couple of uploads. The Jurassic Park gates are in. The land itself is basically there or thereabouts, so that is pretty much ready to be ripped out once we've figured out what we're going to do across the backing, because we've got the Jurassic Park into sort of the haunted section, so that could all be one sort of backdrop, so that might look quite nice. The city view, or the street, or whatever we're going to call it, with some of the smaller sets in front of it with the shops, that is just going to be there. That's just one of those things that work well. And then we will have sort of the more play area bit in the corner. So we've just added a nice bit of greenery into the corner. Then we've got the food, and then we come into half a table of space, and then what will be potentially the final display. But I just thought I'd show you how big this is in comparison to one table, just in case you are following it into the next upload of what we then start to do this. So it gives you a little bit of thought and a bit of time to think visually where does that look better. I can see it going over 2 tables, so I can see that being quite a big display, like the superhero, so I'm quite excited to share that with you. Right, moving on. Corner garage. Do I move it over now? I think I need to. I think we need to see what it looks like, really, don't we? So we need to move these cars out of the way. I just feel that it might be a better thing to do, so it gives us 2 options, and I can let you guys know and then go by your comments of what is best. But if you didn't realise, this is actually, again, a base plate and a half, but it does split, so I can easily move this one. I can put this onto the new dumping table in the middle. It did look nice, but we have got some rather large bits and pieces that we can fill it up with. Now, again, it can just go into the corner like that, and then we just have a 32 by 32 base plate. So if I grab this one, so we can use this for actual spacing, there would be a modular of some sort there that would be pinned to that, and then that is that, so it could go that way. It obviously can't really go the other way because it just hits the side of the building, as we've already seen. It would fit quite nicely in that corner, but the problem is will it look right? Because if I put this over and that is right beside it, that is not going to work. But then if it's all ifs, buts and maybes, that went over to there like so. Can we get away with it being like that? And then, because we do have exactly enough space for the car to drive down, and obviously it can go in. So I think the fascia of that, because you can see everything looks all right. The only thing is you now can't see the little veterinary sort of first aid bit, but normally in theme parks they're usually hidden. And then it does mean we can have the corner, the actual garage open, and then make a display from that as well. So that is the options that we've got with regards to that. Not sold, not 100% sure. That I am confused with, because it's just awkward. It's just an awkward thing, almost like it needs to be by itself with a load of, like a circle around it. I could try and put a ride in the corner and then move that over to the other side. We could say the garage is a toilet block, so it could just be anywhere then, really, I guess. But yeah, that, let me know. That I'm gonna probably just sleep on for a little bit, and we'll just figure it out, because I can't really put the road in front of it now without that being there. But I will get the new taxi built that I got, which was last year's giveaway purchase. I managed to pick that up from Bristol, which was really, really nice. So I picked that up for not much money. In fact, it didn't cost me anything, because it was all through a gift card, so that's even better. But I will get that done, because I think that will look nice with the diner car, and it would look nice with the actual garage truck as well. And we can have maybe the truck towing the taxi, just as a display piece or a photo opportunity, because that's what they have around at the Legoland parks. They have a lot of the bigger cars that you can sit in and you take photos with, so we can try and incorporate that around. But we either have that over on this side, or we have it on the roads on that side, where we have all the sort of the more action bits going around, and that's just another photo opportunity. We can put some benches around it for people to sit on. So either the taxi and the recovery truck go over on that side, so it looks like it's all linked together. A bit of an Easter egg, because obviously the recovery truck from the garage will be over there. That could work. In fact, saying it out loud, that actually might look better, because it does mean that we can make a nice display anywhere around that area, or even in front of the new park that will be going in. But guys, that is it, I think, for this. Didn't really achieve much, but it is going to be waiting on what you guys and girls think. That, now looking at that, takes up so much space, because this table is obviously a lot deeper than the white table. So that's going to take some thought process and planning before I carry on with the next upload. But I am quite excited about that sort of mini project. Do we feel that this bit here works okay? Are we happy with all the greenery? I could maybe add in the spring lantern and potentially put that back at the front here, and then just have some of the smaller bits in front of it. This is going to be our mini land with all the small architecture sets. They're all ready to go. So it's just getting stuff roughly, thinking where it works and where it looks like. The more I look at that, the more I think it looks okay, because I have got them. There's a small thing, this thing, that's what was over there. Just couldn't be bothered to walk over this. Now, if this fits down this gap, that will be the easiest thing to do. So it just slots in, which it does perfect, like perfect. It'll be a bit tight, but it will fit in nicely. So that will go. That just needs a bit of persuading, moving over to the one side, and that will slot in nicely. It's like almost off by, there we go. So he'll go in. That just needs to be pushed over a little bit and pushed over a bit, but that would have the road all the way down that bit in front. So if I put that in roughly for now, that's what that would look like. The car would then sit beside the diner, which kind of makes sense. Potentially the teal one could sit behind that, and then that's what that looks like at the front. Maybe that's how we put that corner. I think that visually looks probably the best for that shape. I know it's a little bit odd, but at the same time it will look quite nice with the diner bit being there, and it's quite nice to have the vehicles parked off the main strip. And then it does then mean we can have this road directly in the front, and then we can have some of the cars if we want to, however we want. So that's not a problem. So we've got the Speed Champions cars, or they can all just be in one long straight line, and cars going the other way. And then we just fill it with a load of minifigures. So this could be very much the car bit, because obviously it's outside the diner, right beside the garage. And then over that side, it's more of the stuff that you can see in the Marvel DC kind of superhero films. We've got the taxis, where there is one over there already. We've got the bank trucks and everything that gives us that option of sort of making it a little bit more a little bit more fruity. But let me know if you like how that looks, let me know if that works, let me know if it doesn't. Basically, let me know what you know. So that is it, guys. I am done. But if you can like and subscribe and all that good stuff, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But as always, thank you very much for watching. You guys take care, and I'll catch you next one. Ta-da.